Hey gang, it's Jeff from the James Freddy's channel. Alright, here it is Tuesday. Chevrolet Camaro 1969. Front door skin, steel, right hand side. The box is upside down because it came that way shipped. At least it got to my door open like this. So let's do an unboxing. First thing it's hard to not notice is the major kink from getting dropped, or who knows, something. That's kind of disappointing. But here we are. We've got our new Doorskin. And it appears to be the right side. And correct. Alright, now I am certain that we have the correct Doorskin in order to replace. Let's take a look at two of the things I was unhappy with, and then we're going to take a look at stripping it. First thing was this, and the camera is just not picking up how severe that is. It's not the end of the world. It can be fixed. I'm already going to be hammering in that area. But I'm at a point now where I'm working on doing body filler less Doorskins, meaning don't put any body filler, meaning go ahead and hem the seams over correctly to where you don't need filler. And when you run into stuff like that, it just kind of puts a little hamper on that. And then up here, this body line is crisp. It's crisp for too long. And I did another Doorskin on John's other 68 back when I was at Hot Rods. The video is up there on the YouTube channel. And we can correct this, but I just wanted to get that shot of the brand new Doorskin on the shell, all hammered and hemmed in, and not have a bunch of body filler, to just have that sheen of this beautiful E-coat shining without flaws. So I'm going to look into whether I think it's going to be easier to take that crisp line out. I think it's got to come out a good few inches, but you know, probably 6 inches, not a few inches. But at the cost of, if I have access from the back, which I do, at the cost of getting that picture that I want in my mind of when this Doorskin's on, I might hold off until after the skin is installed to worry about taking that peak out. So there we are. Now over here is some 36 grit on a 4.5 inch angle grinder. I'm going to go ahead and separate the outer skin from the shell using this. This area had some sort of a crease in it, and I believe that there was a certain reason that there ended up being about a half dozen holes that were welded up. It could have been one of those old slide hammers that what you'd screw into the sheet metal, pull it out, well, and then fill it, and then it might have gotten welded. But whatever the case was, whenever those welds were there, right to the next of them, the metal was just super thin, and it's too hard to fix it for me at my skill level and have it be a good long-lasting repair. And then to try, if I were to try to do like a patch or something, that would have been bad. It would have been a lot of hours, a lot of work to save this thing. So this skin is not, you know, original to the car, but it's going to be good for the car because it's going to be a nice quality, long-lasting repair. Here is just a quick look at the door shell with just the outer skin off. We still have to remove the hem flange, which I was surprised on this particular job to see how huge the actual spot welds that hold the skin onto the shell are. Seems like they're larger than I remember for whatever reason. Modern doors don't get spot welded like that. Modern doors in your, 2015 Corolla get panel bonding adhesive all along this flange and all the way around. And then I just kind of threw the old outer skin down here. No saving that thing now, or at least it'd be fairly difficult to do. Here we're looking at the spot welds that we're about to grind off. We can see here along the bottom of the door, when the skin has been removed, that flange is all majorly corroded. So I'll take the time to go ahead and clean that up. I'll put the skin on and weld it into place. I'll take a hypodermic needle with some thin down epoxy and I'll run it and flood the area once the job is complete. Side note here is the hardware from when we took the front off the vehicle, and we'll just go ahead and take our hardware, which is all rusty, threaded, dry, non-lubed crap, and we'll shove a little squirt of some WD type stuff in there, PV Blaster or whatever. Just give the threads a little bit of oil. And we took the time to go ahead and already label it. Rinse and repeat. There's a little dent we're going to fix. And it won't focus because of the glare, but there's a little dent we're going to fix. So in those clips, you just saw us repair the damage that was in the skin, which, tell me if you do this. I know I find myself doing it way too often. I'll complain about damage for a longer amount of time than it actually takes to repair the damage. Just total mental block. Then we went through and we put our holes for our plug welds in the factory location so that when we get this door on the car, we can make sure that it's lined up properly and we can weld it in. After that, we took a Doorskin hammer and a lead shot bag, and we went through and we started smacking over the flange for the hem. And I just, lightly start getting it over at about a 45 and then bringing it down tighter than that. And when I'm hitting, I'm not just nailing straight, I'm trying to lightly walk it in. After the lead shot bag, and the reason I use the lead shot bag is because when you hit directly hammer on dolly, that dolly has a tendency to want to deflect down, and then you naturally bring it back up to the surface, causing damage to the outer skin. So the lead shot bag reduces that. Then I took a rubber heel dolly. I placed it at an angle, so if my hand is the skin, I didn't place it flat on there, I placed it at an angle, and I went and I got it down pretty close, and then I took the pneumatic door skinning tool and zipped it along for a nice even crimp all the way around. Those are all tricks I learned from the guys down at Toyota. Great group of guys teaching me some excellent tricks to up my game. So this kind of gives you a view down it. One of the things I'm not liking is along the bottom here, where every single one of those holes for the plug weld was. I'm getting a little dimple. So I can go ahead and hammer those down real lightly with a small body hammer. Just use a small body hammer and just go ahead and tap kind of like this. And try to just make that flange a little consistent, but yeah, that's kind of disappointing. This corner where the damage was, the door skin's kind of doing this, so as I start to weld my plug welds in, I'll get over to this corner while I'm on the car, and I'll bring that corner out to the proper spot. Other than that, the door skinning tool does a really nice job. It kind of got into this outer corner here. I don't know if I'm in frame. I'm not center frame, but you still saw that. So it kind of got into that corner right there. But it's nothing bad. That'll probably sand out. A little bit of 80 grit on a DA. Okay, after messing with the door and trying to get it in as close to the right spot as I could tell, I've got it lined up at this front edge of the rocker down here. I've got a decent 3/16 inch gap going down here, really nice along the bottom. It's seeming great up in here where I like it. So normally I would fit the front end, get this exactly how I want it, and go through and weld up all those plug welds along the inner shield, you know, knowing that I don't have to twist the door this way or that way or move it this way or that way. But the front end is off the car because we're about to do some custom firewall mods. So this is going to be the end of the video right there, and we'll catch you next week or so when we start doing the firewall.